So we were going through the roadmap, and once you get to curriculum guides, then you'll see the different folders, and they're labeled by years, and those are the years of the newest ones that I've taken from parents, and I've done some editing on them and posted them. The ones that are not in folders are the oldest ones, but there's still some good files there, and so you can look in the heading and it will give the publisher, and it will give typically the year, and so you can kind of peruse what you're looking for, and it's according to subject category. So if you find a curriculum guide there that you like and that's exactly what you're going to be using, then all you have to do is use the number on the right top corner and put that on your course list, and that's all you need to do, and then print off a copy so that you can submit it with your portfolio review, but you don't have to write your own. So maybe it's almost exactly right but not quite, so you can save it into a Word doc. It takes all the formatting off, so you need to reformat it, but just tweak it and make the changes you need to make. Maybe you're adding a text, or maybe you've got a different year, so make the changes. But once you've made changes to the document, it's yours. It's the only time we allow plagiarism, so it's yours. And take the number off the top right corner and submit it as a parent guide, not as that original guide. If you have to write your own, you go through the process that I've already described to you, and a lot of that information can come right from your teacher's manual. But there needs to be a curriculum guide on file for every subject that you're teaching at home. If you're taking one at the high school, they give a transcript. You don't have to worry about that. If you're taking a sport over there, they give the transcript. You don't have to worry about that. Same thing with ABC. We'd get a transcript from them. Grand Canyon University, we would get a transcript from them. So it's only the ones that you're teaching at home that you have to come up with a curriculum guide, because it has to be on file, okay? And it's submitted every time you give a portfolio review. It is submitted at the front of each subject and checked off with the items that you've completed for that reporting time. Okay. The next thing is a research paper. In English, in high school, there are 6 components of an English class. We'll be going over that in a little more detail in a second. But one of those is a research paper, and so you've got a sheet that gives research paper guidelines. If you're in the Fusion program, then you will be doing your research paper in English in the Fusion program. But if you're doing your own English at home, you need to be sure and have a research paper done by the end of the year. And these are the guidelines. You can read that over yourself. It's to your students' benefit to do a formatted research paper. If it vaguely looks like research, I check off the box when I'm looking at portfolios, but it's to your students' benefit to really learn how to do a proper research paper and to cite it properly. Okay. The supportive and evaluation form is something that you will receive at your support group. It acts as an attendance record for that requirement. It also acts as an in-service if they're doing some kind of a teaching time. But you don't have to worry about that right now. You'll get it when you go to your meetings. The other thing, other than that, is the report card. If you are not in sports and you're only going to be reporting at the semester, then you would get a report card that's divided up by semester. And if you're in CIF, you have to report at the quarter. So even if your sport is in the spring, you still need to report at the quarter. And if you're a new person to our home ed program, you still need to report at the quarter even if you're not in sports, just to make sure you're on track. So the subject, you would, for example, say Bible 9. If you've got a specific subject that you're talking about in Bible 9, say it's apologetics, then you would write it in the space over here. But on our transcript, it's going to say Bible 9, Bible 10, Bible 11, etc. English, same thing, English 10, English 11. So if you want to put the category of literature that's part of the components there, World Lit is typically done in grade 10, American Lit in grade 11, British Lit in grade 12. So you can put that in this part here. Then you have math is next, so it would be algebra 1, pre-algebra, algebra 1, algebra 2, geometry, whatever the category would be here. And then your science, Again, physical science, biology, chemistry, whatever the specific science is would be listed here. Then we have PE. If you're doing PE on your own, then you have to keep a log of hours. 64 hours logged of activity is worth 5 credits. If you're doing a sport through the high school, you don't have to log hours. They give the transcript and you don't have to worry about it. But if you're doing PE on your own and want that PE credit, you have to have 64 hours for 5 credits. Okay, and there's a log form that you put the date, you put the activity, and then you put the number of hours. And once you get to 64, then you've got 5 credits. You can't get more than 10 credits in a year, even if you've got more hours, unless it's a very unique situation. Sometimes we've had kids that are in dance and they've got several different kinds of dance, and then I would list them separately on the transcript if they have enough hours to get multiple credits. Foreign language is next, and so you would name the foreign language that you're teaching, if it's Spanish 1, Spanish 2, French 1, whatever. And then any electives would be listed in this category as well. So if you're doing health or geography or something like that. Okay, and then the S in the first column is your scholastic grade. So that's your A, B, C, D, however you have assessed that the students' work. And then the E is for effort. So it would be like excellent, satisfactory, needs improving. So you could have a student that it could have a B scholastically, but they might have an E excellent because they're working to their full potential. So this is totally having to do with their effort. You might have a student that has an A, but they might have an S there because everything was late and they had a bad attitude or something. Okay? Okay. You should have a form that also looks like this. This is the overall view of the programs. If you come in this doorway under Desert Christian Home Education for high school, if you come in this doorway, that's the Home Education High School. It's got the least amount of reporting. When I do that workshop, I will go into it specifically because I don't really need to go into it if this is for the Joshua Christian. So the Joshua Christian doorway, you can go in 2 different ways. You can go in the Fusion program, or you can go into just home education. Under home education, we manage the transcript. There's college prep and standard diploma options. You get a diploma that says Joshua Christian High School on it. The parent provides the curriculum guides, and the parent awards the grades. There's a semester portfolio review, and again, it's at the quarter if you're doing CIF, and for new people, it's at the first quarter as well. And you can take concurrent classes available through Desert Christian High School, through the Fusion program, through Antelope Valley College, and you're allowed to have CIF sports participation in this doorway. Over here, you're not. If you're going to do CIF sports, it has to be through the Joshua Christian High School doorway. If you enter through the Joshua Christian High School Fusion program, again, transcript management, college prep and standard diploma options, you get a diploma that says Joshua Christian High School. The Fusion program instructor teaches the class 1 day a week on the Desert Christian High School campus. The instructor awards the grades. The parents are only required to teach Bible and PE, and then if they have any other classes that they would prefer to have their student take, then they would do those as well. But they can get everything to graduate through the Fusion program by only teaching PE and Bible. Concurrent classes are also available as listed in the Home Educated section, and then you're allowed to participate in CIF sports under that doorway as well. Okay. I'm not going to go over this, but this is the layout for the 2-year cycle for the Fusion program. And if you're enrolled in the Fusion program, you would have gotten one of these already. So it's not necessary to really go over that in detail. That is an option for our home education high school people. I'm going to go over the academic standards for home education right now for the Joshua Christian High School diploma. So for a college prep diploma, you need 240 credits to graduate. Bible, each semester of Bible is 10 credits, and so that's 40 credits over the course of your high school career. Now, if you come in from another school and they didn't teach Bible, say it was public school, then you would just have Bible every year that you're with us. And those other credits, if you were lacking credits, would be made up as electives. But if you're starting with us, 9 through 12, you have to have Bible every single year so that you end up with 40 credits of Bible. The electives are 30 credits, and again, that's unless more units were added because of a deficiency in the Bible credits. But there's for college prep diploma, there's 30 credits, and that can be made up very easily. Physical science is an elective. It's not a required science, it's an elective. Geography is an elective. Health is an elective. Some people do motor mechanics. Home economics. There's all sorts of ways to get your electives. If you do more than the 20 credits of PE, it falls in the elective category. If you do higher math in the Algebra 1, Algebra 2 geometry, if you do like trig or pre-calculus, that all falls in the elective category. English, there's 40 credits required for the high school career. So grade 9 is usually basic and analytical skills in the literature part. In grade 10 you typically have World Lit. American Lit is in grade 11 because it kind of goes with the US history, and the grade 12 is British Lit. And the American Lit and the British Lit, it's very important to have the chronological survey of literature. So you can't just do a sampling of, say, British Lit, a poet here, an author there. You have to start with Old English and work your way through the Middle Ages and up to through contemporary times. Most textbook anthologies will do that for you, but if you're cobbling together resources of your own or reading whole books, you have to take that into consideration, that it needs, the guide needs to be reflecting a chronological survey right from Old English, like Beowulf, those kinds of things, Epic of Gilgamesh, all the way through to contemporary times. Same thing is true of American Lit. It starts in early American literature and it goes through all the chronological periods up to contemporary times. There are 6 items that need to be included in every English course. So they must include literature, which I've just described, a novel study, and a novel study, in some curriculums, they actually